meeting of the Tufton Borough Planning Board. If you do have a phone, please put it on vibrate or silent, your choice. Before we get going, is there anybody who has any questions about planning board procedures or what we're doing or where the bathrooms are or anything like that?
Nope.
All right, great. A little bit of housekeeping first. Review of the minutes from June 17th, 2021. Did anybody see any changes that needed to be made?
I see one where I said that the Raymond Graham Revocable Trust, I reviewed the deeds and noted there's a lien on one of the lots, it's actually a lien on both of the lots.
Anybody else? I have no issue. I have none. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes with the change noted?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can you appoint George or Lorraine?
Oh, yep. Can I have a motion to appoint George full member to replace Lorraine, who is absent today?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. First up, public hearing, Lackner Family Trust, tax map 64-2-1, two-lot subdivision, 77 Lang Pond Road, formal submission and a public hearing. And Mr. Holbrook,
Hambrook.
you are up.
Jim Hambrook, representing Lochner Family Trust. Lochner's are here this evening. This proposal is for creating a new 12.5 acre parcel out of I guess it was a 110 acre parcel on Lang Pond Road. The existing property has a camp and all that road frontage that goes along the southern part of Mirror Lake. New lot is tucked up in the northeastern corner of the property with, I don't know, 4, 6, I think 700 feet of road frontage. It's fairly straightforward. I mean, I'll answer any questions you have. I mean, it's not much to explain.
Well, it's over 5 acres, so there was no soils required. Are there any easements over the property?
No, well, I mean, Lang Pond Road, but other than that, I mean,
No, it's pretty straightforward. I did go out and drive it just because there was a question about the seasonal road portion versus the town maintained road portion, so I had to stop at the town hall, visit the codes officer, take a drive down there. This appears to be on the town maintained portion of it, which in case anyone ever wonders, runs up to the big double gates on Lang Pond Road on the left-hand side if you're coming from Wolfville.
And I believe it is signed at that point where it becomes seasonal also.
I believe so.
It used to be. There was a sign there, it's not there anymore, but on the other end of the road it is. April to December 10th or something like that.
Yep.
There used to be one near this lot, but it's gone.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
All right. Any member of the board have any questions?
What are your plans for the property, future plans?
For that property? Well, we have a prospective buyer in mind. And you might be interested to know that we have, the zoning there is 2.5 acres per home. So we have put in a contract that it's not to be subdivided further, and they've agreed to that. That's the only plan we have.
Huh? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On one bar, can I ask a question?
There'll be a public session. So. Any other members of the board have any questions? Okay. So it looks like you have requested 3 waivers 1, vegetative cover, water courses, topographic features, 331A, topography, 331B, boundary detail, 331C. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's for the residual parcel.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, that's up, I surveyed all the road frontage as well as all the easterly boundary, but I didn't go up along the town line or the,
Yep, just so everybody understands, that means that they did not survey the remaining, did not go into great detail on the remaining 97.5 acres, because that would be rather arduous since it's being left as it exists. So first up on the waivers, can I get a motion to approve the waiver of section 331A, vegetative cover, water courses, topographic features?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the waiver for section 331B for topography?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve section 331C, boundary detail?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Just so we're clear, those are for the residual lot 64-2-1. At this point, we reviewed the application, and the application is complete. I have a motion to assume jurisdiction over the application.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Would any member of the public like to speak or ask any questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, Marshall Hewitt on 43 Langton Road on the Wolf Grove side. And I'd just like to say a few things for everybody to consider. I'm probably one of the longest residents of Lang Pond Road. I've been there about 50 years. And if you go back 50 years, you look at Lang Pond Road and Trotton Track. Both were very similar at that time. Both basically dirt trails leading through the woods that you could barely get a passenger car over. And as a teenager, trust me, I tried. So if you look at Trotton Track Road now, it's a nice, fully developed, semi-suburban neighborhood. And what you've got at Lang Pond Road right now, in that watershed, and it's 100+ acres surrounding the watershed feeding into Mirror Lake, is a wildlife refuge. You've got moose, which I just saw 2 weeks ago. My neighbor and I just saw that moose 2 weeks ago. Bull, you got cows in there, you got deer, coyotes, bear, bobcat, beaver, hawks, every kind of songbird you can imagine. Now, I'm not one of those tree huggers who, scream, wouldn't spare that tree. I have to cut trees on my own property at times. But every lot you clear, every house you put up, every tree you cut down, you are permanently displacing wildlife. So, and also if you look at much of Lang Pond Road now, just in the last few years, much of that has been posted. No hunting, no trespassing. Now again, I'm not a hunter, I don't even fish because I haven't got patience for either one. But for the many sportsmen in this area who have hunted that land for generations, that public access is now cut off. So this is a meeting of the planning board. So I ask, what are we planning for Lang Pond Road? Is there a plan for Lang Pond Road? Or is the plan to let it eventually go the way of Trotton Track and Wombeck?
Thank you. Is there any other member? Yes, sir.
Hi, Jim Taylor. I live in Wolf Grove, but I own the lot on the corner of Lang Pond Road and Sandstone. Not quite sure of the number, but there's about 45 acres there.
Lang Pond Road and so up by the
On the
house,
on the
the
seasonal
road that
section.
came through Ben Ladd's property.
Yes.
Right. Oh,
Yep. So I share a common boundary. So my first question is, has the boundary between the proposed lot and my lot been surveyed?
yes.
yes.
Okay? And you've checked ancient records and all
Yeah.
that? Because there's a jog at Lang Pond Road.
Yeah, there isn't a wire fence jogs there, but I found the monument out there there's a drill hole out on Lang Pond Road that marks the end of that line.
Okay, because it goes in 10, 15 feet, jogs, towards Merrill Lake and then goes up. And there's a wire boundary of old-fashioned barbed wire, and eventually there are bedposts out in there supposedly.
Yeah, there's pins out and back.
You found those?
Yep.
And you've remarked them?
Yeah, I didn't mark, well, not all of your line, because it is some nasty going in there, but the whole new line is all marked.
Okay.
So that the new
Because
12-acre lot.
to the best of my knowledge, the last time that lot was, the proposed lot was logged, they paid very little attention to where the boundary lines were. And I could not afford a survey, so I certainly didn't do it.
Yeah,
So-
they stayed off it. You know, they didn't go right to it. They came close, but they didn't come right to it, so there wasn't. Now it gets pretty wet back on the tail end of yours, and of course they couldn't log in there.
Sometime I'd love to see that that survey. The other thing is there is most
It's
likely,
available as public record.
okay, there could likely be a municipal electric town of Wolfboro easement across that, because the electric company came to me at one point in time and wanted permission to set a couple of poles on my lot to extend the line that goes down Lang Pond Road, because there was some discussion of doing something on one of those corner lots, not mine, but up near Sampson Road and Lang Pond Road. So there could well be a municipal electric department easement on that property.
Yeah, most properties are gonna have an electrical easement of some sort.
Okay, thank you.
And the line between your property and the proposed new property remains unchanged. They're not creating any new line.
No, and I understand that. I'm just wondering if new records and my records agree.
And surveys never change ownership, you know, it's the deed.
Well, that probably hasn't been surveyed for a long time,
Very well could.
because my grandfather and Irving Hersey were best of friends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. My name is Frank Body. I'm on 4 Finch Street in Wolfboro, and I just moved here. And I got this abutters notice, and I don't know Street A from Street B. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, on Finch Street where I am, where is all this land that we're talking about?
You know, I don't know where
Where's
Finch
Finch
Street
Street?
is.
Where's
It's
Finch
in
Street?
Robin
It-
Acres.
Robin
Acres.
It's
Far
over.
away.
So
It's a half-
if you were to drive up Lang Pond Road from the Wolfboro side, from the Living Museum, and Robin Acres as the development exists on your right-hand side.
Right.
If you were to keep going up Lang Pond Road as it dips down towards Mirror Lake, and then you were to continue up the hill on the other side, probably about multiple thousands of feet, it would be a lot up on about a third of the way down Lang Pond Road before you got to the Tufton side.
Lang Pond Road, I think I've been down there once. It's kind of a paved road, and then it's not
Paved to
road.
dirt. So
So is the dirt,
this is well past where it starts to go to dirt.
this is where you're talking?
Yep.
Past the Mirror Lake Cottage.
If you drive up there, you see
Yes.
2 big boulders.
Yeah.
There's a little pull-in. Those boulders are right near the southern edge of this lot.
I guess my concern, as silly as it may sound, because,
I can show you if you got a second. You can take a look at this.
no, I think I'm fine, but that, I have an idea as to what you're talking about, but I guess my only concern is, you know, we're gonna put 100 houses back there somewhere behind my house. I guess that's what I'm asking, in a very simple form.
No,
Did
it's unchanged behind your property. That's the residual, that's the 97-acre residual tract.
Okay.
The 12-acre parcels,
So if I drive down that road and see the 2 rocks, then I'm kind of,
You're at the beginning of the lot.
So,
Okay.
having been behind your house, it's highly unlikely anyone is gonna build anything in there anytime soon, because it's wetlands. I mean, that whole section to the right as you.
and I guess I share the same concern here with, because I know I come from Boston, and we don't have a lot of bear and deer and antelope and everything else running around our streets. Yeah, and I get these beer warnings and everything else, but I would imagine that if there was building and stuff going on back there, that there's gonna be migration of some sort. Displacement, I guess, is what
Yeah, I mean,
That would be a
12,
concern, I guess.
You know, a single house on 12 acres is a pretty benign, well, in theory, somebody could build 2 residences on 12 acres, but a single house on 12 acres is about as benign as we
Yeah,
get.
okay.
It's within the rights of the property owner in the town of Tuftonboro. It exists within the rights of the zoning in the town of Tuftonboro. You know, Lang Pond Road actually is one of the last, Lang Pond Road, Northland Road, are some of the last kind of undeveloped roads in Tuftonboro.
Yeah.
And as these other roads start to get, you know, developed and these lots are running out and subdivisions are happening, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if landowners exercise their rights to subdivide property.
Yeah.
This is very modest. I mean, this is,
Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate it.
Yep. Any other member of the public? Okay. Did we get, is there anything else?
Here, talk about the usage,
Yeah.
doesn't plan to all out to be subdivided.
Okay.
So it's a one-house lot, basically.
They do, we have a certificate of monumentation. We do not have a Mylar, is that correct?
No, I have one.
You have one here,
Yep.
great. So the only condition on this would be all applicable state, local, and federal permits, which is a condition on every application we do. So, could I have a motion to approve the subdivision with the single condition of all applicable lake, state, local, and federal permits?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Second time.
Next up is action item, Island Farm Island Acres LLC 40-2-1 extension request of subdivision approval. Just an update on that. We did have something come up, which we will be, the planning board will be clarifying with council, and we will address that at the next meeting. All right, discussion items.
Thank you.
Yep. Planning board secretary. Hey,
What are you gonna say?
first discussion item. We have a new one who's training. This lovely lady on the right-hand side, Roberta, will be joining us from, where are you from, Roberta? Sandwich? All right. So Roberta is from Dummer, New Hampshire originally? Oh, I'm sorry. You lived in Dummer, all right. Oh, okay. So, and she has been working with the police department as well. is
You
my
had
understanding.
something to do by the.
So, as one can imagine, this is some fairly extensive involved things, and Leanne will be working with her moving forward for the next, whatever it takes to make sure we're up to speed.
Very smartly.
Okay. That's great, because you have a very good planning board chair, so one balances out the other.
So one of the things that Roberta's going to provide is regular office hours in the town office at the planning board desk, in addition to handling this. So she's going to be in there on a regular basis.
That is 1 to 4, I believe?
What's that?
1 to 4?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So-
Minus like the weeks that we have meetings that will be subtracted from my hours at the office.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
So when stuff arrives, we're going to know about it. Matt's going to know about it probably the same day.
Great.
Nothing will get lost.
I'm very organized, so hopefully.
Well, that's good, because I'm not. So.
We'll keep you in mind.
So, if you have people who have planning board questions, or they need a form, or they need anything, 1 to 4 in the town offices, in the planning office. Roberta. All right, anybody got any questions?
I do, Matthew. Hi there, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm fine. Questions for Leanne. Leanne, you're gonna teach Roberta how to use the camera?
That camera?
Yes, correct.
yes, I will teach her, but I don't believe, I need to speak to the selectmen as to what
So,
they're gonna wanna
so
do.
the service that we use with this is been terminated. So
Oh, I thought,
that doesn't mean that we can't use it in some other way to record it on a computer or whatever, but the online piece is going away.
I didn't hear that at the last meeting, that's why. I thought
Yep.
you were gonna continue it. I didn't
Yep.
hear discontinue. All right, thank you.
Yep. Remember we talked about a backup for you?
I don't remember.
Huh? Yes, you do. All right. So, yeah,
What is
that was
her
in
name?
connection with that.
Joe.
Joe, okay.
All right. Farm Pond subdivision. We got a letter.
So we received this letter from HEB saying that basically everything has been done and that it's been constructed in accordance with the plans. So, at the time that I did the agenda, I did not want to assume without getting confirmation from the treasurer, but I was going to include release of financial security on the agenda, but not knowing what was in escrow. So I reached out to Jack Widmer, and he stated that there's $864.08 in escrow. So if HEB is signing off on the project saying it's been constructed in accordance with the plans, then we should be able to release that small amount of escrow, and we should be able to close this project.
Great. Can I have a motion to release the escrow for Farm Pond subdivision, Tufton Road, New Hampshire?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. There's one put to bed.
And,
Nice.
yeah.
It is a nice.
Yeah, very nice one. Master Plan Steering Committee update, Gary?
Next meeting we have is July 14th, next Wednesday. We're going to be reviewing the first of the infrastructure plan from MRI that they're putting together now. We met on 6/26 Saturday at the Recycle Center, where we set up shop there and interviewed people. We probably did another 25, 30 surveys when people are coming in, other people that were, I'm sitting at my desk and a little motivation, some good talks. So it was very busy, and then I toured them of the town of Wolfboro. Basically for another couple hours we were looking at all the infrastructure and the shoreline and the back sections, our conservation properties. So we covered it pretty well with them. So again, we'll meet this Wednesday to review the infrastructure, and we're most likely going to be at Old Home Days also, doing the same kind of thing we did. And I'm waiting, Sue Wingate is checking that out. She gets involved in that, so I asked her to let me know we'd like to go there and set that up, and we'll hear back from her probably on Wednesday's meeting. So that's where we stand right now. They've got all the information now on all the comments boards, been sent to them. All right, I have one package, actually a small one, that's going to them tomorrow morning, but they've got the rest of it. They've got all the surveys, they're doing the surveys. That's a long process to go through the surveys and correlate things that are similar and put them together. And I'm glad they're doing that, not us. So they're working away at it, and so we're doing our thing, and we're pretty much on target. So there's no issues. So, any questions, anybody?
Is it gonna be an online meeting, a Zoom meeting, or Zoom?
Can't
Yes,
be Zoom
Have they not
meeting.
notified you?
Can't be Zoom meeting.
that's why I'm curious.
They're done.
What is it gonna be?
What's that, the committee meeting?
I'm
Has
asking
has to
Gary,
be an in-person meeting.
correct, because of the governor's,
Right, because
He
the
rescinded
emergency
the-
orders expired.
right, so that's
So
my
we have to do an
concern.
in-person meeting.
All meetings are in person
Okay.
now, that's correct.
That's why I'm bringing it up, Gary, because,
How do we deal with them? MRI.
Now, is the problem with the consultant? You can have the consultant
Zoom in.
On Zoom.
remotely participate. The committee has to meet in person.
So we're gonna have to have remote capability.
I'll come over to your house.
Well,
Oh,
you
we have to
can
do it.
come
It's a
here,
public
it's a
session.
public place.
Yeah.
Right, you can meet here or the town offices if it's open, And I just need to know because I need to schedule it with Kathy to make sure that there's availability. And then you guys can someone can bring a laptop and open up the Zoom. They'll send you the invite, and that way the committee's meeting in person, and then,
Yeah.
like he said, the consultant is calling in.
All right, let me talk to them all right tomorrow, let them know.
Maybe they come up again, I doubt it though.
Yeah, it's just a long haul. I mean, they're going to Keene at Peterborough.
Right, yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any need for the outside people to be here in person, right? It's just the committee, the town committee has to have.
Yeah, we're going to restructure. These meetings aren't going to be as frequent in the future either, because the vision plan is, the last of the vision plan will be at the old home days. All right, just picking some more data and then put the patch in. That's the most difficult part of all this. That's really where the direction the town wants to go. And we'll finalize it at that point. And they're already into the infrastructure, and we're going to sign out some other things in this next meeting. So I'll talk to them tomorrow. I'll send you an email of how we want to deal with that.
Yeah,
Okay?
so if you're gonna have it at someone's home, just let me know, but again, remember, you need a quorum, so just keep that in mind, now that we're meeting in person. If
Yeah.
someone can't make it, it affects the quorum.
So it has to be public, so I mean, yeah, so we're going to have to.
Yeah, I really don't think you want it at
No, I
someone's house,
think we could
because
go
it
over
has
to
to
town
be
hall,
open to the
it's
public.
available to us or somewhere.
So we're at what, 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock next Wednesday, correct?
Now, whatever, how many meetings are 4?
I think it was at 4,
Yeah, I
they're
guess it
usually
was,
4.
yeah.
So Wednesday, so I will look into both places. We
What,
go-
what time is town
If you
hall
run
closed
into a
on Wednesdays?
problem, you can use my showroom, so I assure you there's nothing in it to sell. So, it's big.
Actually, it should just, if I can get you at the town offices, I will, because you don't have a key here,
No,
so,
and I don't have codes, I don't have anything.
Right.
What time do they close typically on Wednesdays?
5, right? Isn't Diane there till 5?
5?
4:30, 5?
So I think she's there till 4, It's like 7 to 4.
Let's see if we keep that meeting back, if we could, 1 hour.
You can meet, there's no reason you can't meet up here.
Do it at
right?
3? Well, he doesn't have a key, and there's no selectmen's rep on it, and I don't go to the meetings.
Well, we can get a key
I
from the
have
townhouse,
a
that's
key
not a
from
problem.
town hall.
So
Can
you
push
can,
back the meeting to 3?
you can get, if you see Kathy, she'll give you a key to the townhouse for your meeting.
We're here.
Yeah,
Can we get Roberta a key to this
sure.
building? as well?
All right.
So we'll plan here at 4, and we'll get a key.
Yeah, the only thing I was saying, if we back it up until 3 o'clock, we could go there and we're out of it in 40 minutes.
Yeah, usually it doesn't last more than an hour? No.
Not these meetings.
Yeah, if
yeah.
you can push it to 3, then you
Would
can
that
go to
work
the
for you?
town office. 3.
All right, I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow and I'll contact everybody.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
because we can push them, make it really easy, we'll just go in the conference room, do our thing, we're out in 40, 45 minutes.
You'll have to drop off, you can get up.
Yeah, then I can do a code, I can have codes,
Yeah.
like 20 pages.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it, okay, good, thanks.
The one that cruise.
Anybody got anything else? Any other business? Any member of the public have any questions? Great, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, great job, everybody.